In the morning on the day that I was about to catch M. Night Shyamalan's latest movie called Trapped, I read this review on Addicted to Horror Facebook group which I am a member of. The reviewer was straight to the point and said, "I'm not exaggerating at all, this has to be one of the worst movies I've seen all year. Nothing about this was horror, psychological, suspense or thriller. It was more of a musical. They forget about the film and the whole plot. When I said nothing happened, I mean nothing happened. Don't waste your time, energy or money going to see this." Well, the reviewer was not alone with the criticism online about this movie, but this really took the cake. The fact that he or she used the phrase "one of the worst films of the year" when there would be only one worst of the year lost a lot of credibility, and the accolade should be given to The Strangers Chapter 1. However, I was still apprehensive about Trap, which I roughly knew that was about trapping a serial killer in a concert, which stars the heartthrob of the Northeast, Josh Hartnett. The movie did not beat around the bush. It immediately followed Hartnett's character, Cooper, bringing his daughter Riley to the concert of one Lady Raven, played by M. Night's eldest daughter, Saleka. We were immediately being informed that Cooper is the butcher, a ruthless serial killer in Philly, and the police and FBI had been hunting him down and setting up a seamless plan to trap him within the live concert. For 2/3 of the movie, it was a cerebral exercise from Cooper on how he played a game of chess against an opponent who had an immaculate plan and had all the odds stacked against him. So at this juncture, I can safely say this was no horror, that's for sure. But there were definitely solid psychological elements, and I could say it was thrilling, especially seeing how Cooper would dodge what seems like a mission impossible while balancing his role as a family man. The closest we might get to the horror aspects of the plot would be the climactic end when the butcher came out in full force, and it brought us back when M. Night gave us a creepy human nature exploration in Split. For the longest time, I thought Josh Hartnett, an actor that was going for major stardom since emerging from Halloween H2O and then The Faculty, therefore his affiliation with the horror genre was from the onset. From mid-2000s, after movies like Sin City and The Black Dahlia, somehow his starring roles were limited, and slowly we as audiences also slowly forgotten his presence. I was very much surprised to see the eye-catching performance from Hartnett as Oppenheimer's colleague in the university. He looked buffed up, and even facial features weren't the same as I recalled. There was a sense of maturity in the acting itself. I was thinking if this was a renaissance for Josh Hartnett. Then came Trap, a collaboration between a director and an actor who both struck fame in the early 2000s, before slowly losing their relevance. As Cooper, Hartnett oozes charisma to worm his way out of some improbable situations, and when he switched to the butcher persona, he exuded some scary aura. However, if you do a direct comparison to James McAvoy in Split, his performance was always going to take the bridesmaid role. One sticking point that the critics might use to hit Shyamalan was to position his own daughter Saleka in such a prominent role. She was an idol that sent her fans into delirium, a phenomenon that the older generation could not be condescending about, as our grandmas might be caught in the Beatles mania themselves in the 1960s. As a singer, I actually enjoyed Saleka's singing and stage performance, but when she was propelled to go against Cooper in the final act, it was evident that she froze in several key scenes, and I did not think it was due to the fear of the antagonist, and I could not overlook how those eyelash extensions caused her to keep blinking to a state that it was distracting. Supporting performance from Alison Pill and Ariel Donahue, who played the effervescent Riley, were solid, especially Pill during a key confrontation role. Oh yeah, M. Night was in the cast as well. It was definitely not distracting at all. Trap was legitimately not awful. Sure, there was a lot of loopholes in the plot, and there were distinct some over-the-top performances during the concert part of the movie. There were enough meat for your average audience to gobble upon, and an escalation of tension at the end. There were also some legit funny moments that got people guffawing, in which was something I did not expect from M. Night Shyamalan. This was a 6/10 movie and might be one for those eclectic Josh Hartnett fandom. And no, it is not the worst film of the year. And no, it was not a musical as well. Before we go, let me go through my thoughts of M. Night Shyamalan's theatrical features since 2015's The Visit, which I thought he was starting to make interesting movies again, of the horror genre or otherwise. The Visit was truly the return to form and was a surprise favourite from that year for many horror fans including myself. I would combine Split and Glass, which was buoyed by the majestic performance from James McAvoy and the hollering from surprise audience all over the world with the amazing revelation of the continuation of the Unbreakable universe could not be overlooked. I could not finish all. There was too much screaming and squabbling between characters to a point that it broke me. Knock at the Cabin worked for me, and the unconventional casting choices worked a splendor in the end. Once again, please like and share and help subscribe to this channel. I am just a budding movie reviewer who wanted to share how I felt about horror movies. My previous review was the 2006 Thai horror coming-of-age movie Dawn. Do check it out. Do excuse me now as I go search for the worst musical film of the year 2024.